Previously on the blood-soaked rose.
No longer shackled by the fucking collar that was around his neck and unleashes fire and illumination upon this.
What is left of its form evaporates as it tries to swing a sword at you.
Know your place and stay back.
This world, and it flails at you inexpertly. So it swings its lantern at you, and again, you can deftly step away as well. Arrow would simply pass through it unharmed, but instead strikes true. And with an ear-splitting screech, it evaporates.
The stones start to form on either side in different points and with frightening speed shoot up.
If the mage is anything like that, we shouldn't have much of a trouble.
And now,
Rosine places her glass of wine on top of her deactivated golem and stands, arms wide. Aurelius, dear. Briafiel, welcome.
You know my full name.
Oh, I know all sorts about you. About both of you. I am very, very sorry about the loss of your companion. It was not my intention that things should happen that way. In fact, I don't even believe we're working at cross purposes. Please, come in.
Where is she seated? Is she at like a long table?
Yeah.
What is kind of the...
It's like a workbench. She's stood up now in front of her alchemical setup, yes.
Yeah, and he'll find a chair that is opposite to Rosine. And he hasn't said a word yet, but he'll come forward and he'll sit down in front of her.
Can roll awareness.
16 for Aurelius.
Same, 16.
Nice.
A young elf stirs in the bed that becomes visible as you make your way into the room. Oh, she sees you notice him. Don't mind him. He won't be awake for quite some time yet.
And he'll, as he sits down, Rosine.
Aurelius.
I have spent the better part of 3 decades trying to find you, and now you make it too easy. Why?
I have simply had too much to do to stop and have it out with you. Now we are afforded a moment of calm in the storm, and it is agreeable that we should meet. Can I ask, do you even know why yourself, Aurelius? You've spent so much time, so much rage trying to hunt me down.
Very well. Let's keep the storm at bay and let's bask in the calm for a little while. And let's talk plain.
I always try to.
You want to know if I know why I'm chasing you? Why I'm searching you out?
I would like to hear it in your words. Yes.
Absolutely. The why is because I don't know why. As a young boy, as a 10-year-old boy, unaware of the true truths of the world, unaware of the folly of man, of the evils of those in the continent, left desperate and without his father, without his mother, and to not know why, to be not given a reason, not given an understanding, and not even able to face the one who is responsible for it. For 30 years, I have wanted to know the why, Rosine.
Assume that I am responsible, and not the choices of those people who abandoned you. I'm sure someone has fed you a comforting lie, or you have made one up yourself. But the truth is, your parents were selfish. Selfish cowards. They sold their countrymen to the incoming army. And then, leery of having the responsibilities that switching sides to Nilfgaard would bring, they attempted to flee into the wilderness, and they left a boy, a burden to them, especially one who saw the flickering of chaos. They had no interest in raising you. They were punished for their cowardice and their selfishness. They were young, perhaps a little too self-centered, and maybe their sentence was harsh, but such is the way of war, and such is the way of doing one's duty, as I have. Whereas you have turned this into a never-ending crusade. I have done my service to the Emperor, cast out from my fellow mages, unregistered. Whereas you have issued all contact with anyone, fed the rage inside you, become a beast in search of a reason why. When the reason is sordid and simple. I'm sorry.
Can he pull a perception check of how much of that is bullshit?
Yeah, it's human perception.
Question.
Yep.
Is she quite a guarded individual? Is she someone that appears...
No, she chooses her words carefully, but she seems to be pretty welcoming. She's allowed you in.
Brioc's human perception is a crit 1, and then a 1 again.
It's the perfect time to use this.
There's just too much tension for you to read what's going on.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't separate lies from truth if I have no context.
Yeah.
What are you using there, Sean?
I'm using a dice that was gifted to me from a deceased Ellen about that could be used at some point for the Witcher campaign, and I feel that this is as good a time to use it as any.
It looks rather special. Can you describe it for us?
It is a solid gold G10.
It's not really gold.
Oh,
is it?
never you mind.
It's where our Patreon money goes.
Yes,
It is,
right, yeah.
It is
Solid gold dice.
It is solid,
And it's gold
and
coloured.
it's gold coloured.
Yes, it's lovely. It's
Thus-
lovely, yes.
Solid gold. Well, 16.
Didn't roll great.
No. It did roll my lucky number, though.
Number 4.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be kind of twisting or being sly about it. She's quite casual.
And
It's
to
just
be
something
clear-
that happens.
And to be clear, what she's stating is that his parents were going to defect to Nilfgaard or away.
Yeah,
They offered to defect to Nilfgaard.
I'm just about to... I was going to ask in character.
So they were planning to defect to Nilfgaard.
And then take their payment, and rather than have to fight for Nilfgaard, flee
And
into obscurity.
and she, as an unregistered mage, took it upon herself.
Unregistered.
Has said that she was responsible for tasking out the sentence.
Yes. She is implying that she is unregistered.
Insofar as to have carte blanche to do what needs to be done.
Correct. That is what she is saying. That she has made the sacrifice to live outside of magic society in Nilfgaard.
For the greater good.
In order to take on more difficult and clandestine things. Yes. Of which your parents' death was an unfortunate part.
Yeah. Suppose I believe a word of what you've just said. Suppose my parents were traitors to a cause. Whether that cause is just or not is kind of irrelevant. I think at least you would agree on that front.
I do.
Whether or not you were tasked with dealing out this punishment, and whether that is just or not. And whether or not you have put any thought into your mind about the boy that you left behind over the last 30 years.
Were you not trained? Were you not taken into the bosom of the Empire and given all the food you need to grow into the powerful man you are today?
Just or not, you still took choice away from me.
Your anger, do you not see what it has done to you? I believe that the world, the spheres, operate on a kind of poetic justice. I like to guide events in that direction. Your affliction, which you could very well blame upon myself, was simply me listening to the poetry of events. Your bloodlust, your rage, your violent need to confront me is what turned you into a beast in fact. And curses and hexes all across the land work this way. The very existence of many of the monsters that are have been brought here exist in such a way. And so if you are ever to free yourself of this, you will have to find the poetry of your redemption. And perhaps that is why you are on my threshold today. And similarly, but not the same, Briafael, perhaps that's why you are at my doorstep today.
Well, my friend,
Yes?
you speak of universal poetry, but lack meter?
Yes.
It feels like a bad deal.
I am offering Aurelius a chance to shed the beast that he's become and become something more useful and purposeful in service of the Empire, of peace in the north, and yourself, perhaps a chance to reclaim a sliver of your birthright, to spill the blood of those who have oppressed you, to take part in dealing out a poetic justice upon a city that has been nothing but cruel to you. Varley is useful, but he lacks imagination. He had to be moved in the right direction. But you, I think you would do it for the joy of it, because it is just.
Don't do that. Don't, no. Don't try and take your years of training. Remember, I went to the same training as you, Racine. I understand how this works. I understand that chaos does not just come from what you can conjure in your hands. Chaos comes from what you can spurt from your mouth. There is no way you can twist this as if Nilfgaard deals in poetry. Fuck the North. Fuck Nilfgaard. Fuck the lot of you. It does not matter. There is only you and myself. You do not get to deal a lesson. You don't hold that right. You wavered that right the second you sent a beast to do your dirty work and instilled something that the Emperor put forth. The Emperor. Fuck the Emperor. How's that? For just.
Strong language, of course. Ymir can be difficult. I must admit I've shared your sentiments on more than one occasion. But such personal emotions should be mastered, don't you think? If you slay me, or try to, you will never be free of the thing that you have become. Is that the price you wish to pay? And you seem at pains to speak over your friend, who is yet to respond to my offer.
I didn't quite hear the terms of our deal.
I think you would be better suited than Varley to bring this siege to a swift end. Less bloodshed if the city surrenders, if panic and disorder can cause her gates to open before heavy loss of life come spring. And as I said, I have an eye for the poetry of things, and I believe I have come up with something that your brothers and sisters can use to weaponize the blood in their veins that the Nordlings have so wantonly spilled. It's a variation on the black blood that the witches brew. Drink this and then spill your blood amongst them. They will grow sick. They will suffer. And they will die. And once the fear of disease and a confident, united elven citizenry rise up against them, Vizima will topple from the chessboard, and you can reclaim some of what your birthright as a leader of your people and have a home here in the north, where before you've been rejected, here you can be integrated. You can be the noble you were born to be.
Well, that certainly sounds enticing.
And
it is good to know where we stand.
I am not practicing to deceive.
No, I can see that. You're honest.
I have my tasks to complete, and I believe we could, as I said, we don't have to work at cross purposes.
No, you have a role, a duty, a sense of self, and you are being as candid as probably you can be. But I think you misread me.
That is unfortunate.
Because I think you seek to use me rather than to liberate me.
Why can it not be both?
That sounds like the question of an oppressor.
We all use one another.
True.
I'm asking you to join me, not become my puppet or my tool.
No, of course not. No, of course not.
I will create tools where I need, but I would rather not.
I know you wouldn't rather not. You would rather have people welcome and join you. Step faithfully into your bosom, and
And many do.
they do. But in answer to your question, in answer to your offer, I must decline.
Aurelius, do you wish to be free of your curse? Do you wish to be tutored by one who has done much good with the power that they have been granted? Or do you too refuse?
I never sought to be free, only satisfied. And he will go to fire a blast at Rosine.
Ooh, initiative, man. Oh, I hoped I could get one of you on board. Oh, I wanted to turn you against the other.
Came close.
Oh, it's close. I thought it was a good deal.
It was a great deal.
Oh.
You just misread me, baby.
Damn it!
Yeah. You got priorities askew.
Thought you would do it for the elves. Do it for the noble, your noble bloodline.
Well, the fun thing is, well, we'll see after.
We'll
but
see
you can do it
afterwards.
for the elves, but not with Rosine.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
What'd you get there, Sean, for your initiative?
I got an 18, I
Oh,
did.
very good.
I'm worried about Rosine's stats, though.
20.
Oh, God.
20's on a d10.
If only we had a Witcher with us. This would be a much easier encounter.
It's kind of built around you having not two party members.
What way? That's fine.
Geralt runs into the room.
I mean, then again, she is only human. You know,
the
she
mo-
doesn't have 15 decks or
Yes.
something. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean? Like,
yes. Only human.
Oh.
Little Matrix nod there.
Only human.
Only human.
Or more human than human. Blade Runner nod there.
Hey.
16 for Rosine. Briok.
I rolled a 13.
Hell yeah.
So you're all sitting down in what amounts to essentially a largish bedchamber. A room not unlike the one we're sitting in at the moment, a few meters across, a few, 10 or 15 meters long, if that. And yes, you're seated in this space when you decide to act.
He literally says the word satisfied and goes to fireball Rosine in the face. Not pointedly the face, but let's hope. It's going to be a... let's get my spells up. I should have my spells in front of me. For Gomeria, you're great. So for Anye, you defend with dodge and block.
Or
Dispel.
dispel.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good thing I also have Dispel.
Yes.
That is a good thing.
Battle of the Mages. So dispel. Spell allows you to end a spell, ritual hex within range of this spell. So 10 meters. The spell can cancel magic with a duration and can be used as a defensive action to block magic attacks
Yes.
with or without a physical component. To cancel magic effect, you must spend half as many stamina points as the caster's spell spent to cast the magic.
Which for me will be 5.
Okay, so I have to spend 2. I spend 2 stamina, and then it's spellcasting rolls versus one another.
Right. I'm trusting this die again.
So now it becomes literally a contested will of their spells against one another, trying to squeeze one through against the other.
I used my 1 luck.
We've rested
Today?
since.
Oh, resets, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Resets per day, yeah.
Well, you know
Today's
what?
session, you can
You
definitely
know what?
have another
Hell yeah,
luck.
let's use that one
Yeah.
point of luck that I have.
You got 1 point of luck with the lucky dice.
What's your spell casting base, by the way?
What does it matter?
I'm just interested.
Just curious, I guess, as the DM.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Hot.
Mine's 15.
Mine's 16.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Baseball. 8 and 8.
Am I looking at the wrong place?
My will is 10
Oh, right. And
and my
I'm looking-
spellcasting is 6.
yeah, right.
Sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place.
Just for FYI, as foreshadowing, I am no longer using this die.
I was looking at my resist magic. Sorry. My spellcasting is 19.
Well, roll a 1.
9 will, 10 spellcasting.
Roll a 1. Roll a 1.
I got a 2. So 21.
I got 19. I rolled a fucking 3.
So you go to put the fireball and it just snuffs out in your hand. And she giggles, takes a sip of her wine, and then activates. So I need our resident
Rules
speaker
lawyer.
of Elvish, Gwent. It's not Gwent, obviously. Gwent Troelli. Gwent Trelli. She sips her wine and then makes a circular movement with her other hand as she whispers some words. And a barrier of wind leaps up around her that will deflect projectiles should they come near her.
Is this a spell that she's casting?
Yes.
Well, then let's fucking dispel it.
Go for it. So it cost 12 to cast, so you
What?
need to cost 6 to dispel it.
How fucking powerful is this?
Very.
Have you heard of Triss?
No, who's that?
Anyway,
All right, you know what?
about equivalent for those at home.
Come on, Sean.
Fighting here is a really bad idea.
Come on, Sean. No, it's great. It's great. Great.
This also burns you for a point of damage.
What'd you roll?
I rolled 18.
23.
Yeah.
So the swirling air appears around her, ready to bat aside any projectiles. It's your go, Brioc.
Can't
Or
use the bow in
Briafa.
wind.
So
How does it work mechanically?
To get it through, you have to beat her spellcasting roll, so it's 23. She basically has a standing defense of 23 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, from projectiles.
From projectiles.
Let's use a witch's sword.
Go for it.
Brioc will pull the witch's sword, the steel one.
She's reached her feet by this stage. I assume everyone has
Yeah.
has
Pushed
stood
his
up,
chair back,
dramatic-
stood up.
Ugh!
Yeah, we're leaping on
The
to.
air crackles with chaos of spells trying to cancel one another out and wills vying against each other. She manages to pull a barrier of air around her as you stand to your feet, pull the witch's sword into your hand, and
spend stamina to make an attack.
perfect.
Because it is an action to draw a weapon.
To draw a weapon, yeah, and you were sitting in conversation.
And then I'm going to push myself to do another action, which is attack.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can do a second action if I use
If
3
you-
stamina.
yeah.
So I need to remember that.
So
Always
you
worth
can
it.
spell and stab.
Yes. Yeah.
Or more spell if you've got this. If you've got the stamina
Stam.
or the vigor.
Or the verb.
Well,
I've spent 14.
let's...
It's quite a big spell.
Let's force her to use some stamina then.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack.
Yep.
And I'm going to make it... Because I don't use melee weapons terribly often.
So this is swordsmanship.
Yes. So I'm going to use a fast attack.
Yep. So 2 of them.
2 of them. Here they come.
She's going to dodge.
Very good. Dodge both of them.
Yes.
Cool.
Nothing to block with.
Swordsmanship.
21.
That won't beat my 15.
And again. 17.
15.
Oh.
I'm not a swordsman.
She's quick.
Yeah, she is. Brioc pulls a witch's sword, swings.
Uh-oh. Has it got accuracy bonus? Some swords do.
That's right. I don't think it does, but...
Some swords and daggers do. Usually wielded by someone with a very adept swordsman. Doesn't necessarily need to be. I mean, I don't think you'd need 3. You need +3 to land that second blow.
It's not going to, is it?
So it's not going to be enough. Aurelius.
Brioc will swing 2 strikes and poorly try and stab her. He's not skilled in this. And so the strikes go wide, as they're clearly very telegraphed.
Yeah. She sways, ducks, and moves. I don't want to have to kill you both, but I will. Aurelius.
Bet she fucking will. I'm gonna earth and spike her. Because I just have to keep trying. He has to.
So she's going to try to dispel you.
Yeah, keep wasting it. Go for it.
So how much does yours cost?
It's another 5.
So that costs me another 2.
These ones that do the goodness. These ones do the goodness.
The stamina. Okay, yeah. You're chewing through it.
I haven't rolled above a 3 for any of this battle. What is going on?
Except your initiative.
21.
19. Like I'm bitten.
Or a little bit, a little bit more.
God damn it.
You go to pull the earth. She sees that rumbling at her feet. She pushes her hand down and suppresses that.
Aurelius is just trying to enforce his will forward. Yeah, and he's gonna move closer as well. He's gonna try and cover the length of the table after this spell as its movement, about half the length. And then, you know what? Screw it. Let's go all the way up to her, use another stamina, and try and stab her.
3 stamina, and you're at -3s, yeah. So yes, as you approach her, you start to gang up on her. You're the second person to engage her in melee before her turn starts again, which means she is now at a -1 to every defense, and every defense past that first swing from Brioc, she's losing a stamina as well, so you're wearing through her pool of stamina. That second strike took 1. You're spending 3 more and attacking again 2 fast strikes.
Yes, and so just very quickly remind me how the fast strikes work.
So you can either take 2 strikes at normal, or you can take 1 big double damage strike at -3 to hit.
No, because that'll put me at a -6. So it's not.
Tough when you're taking an extra stamina action already. So yes.
So I'm going to do 2 fast strikes. Two stabs with my rondelle. There is a goddamn god. All right, here we go.
Sorry. 27 to dodge.
I rolled well. I
sorry.
rolled well.
Second strike.
Second
I'm
strike.
going to kill Razine, but I'm going to kill Phil.
She's like, I made her difficult. You don't necessarily have to fight her. Oh. Only a 16 that time.
15!
With the -3s as well.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let me double check this. Let me double check my math on this.
We'll double check your math. Because I rolled a 2 off my base of 14.
Yeah. Wait, you rolled a 2 with your base of 14?
Yeah, she's got normal dodge of 15, -1 for being
Sure.
ganged up on.
Cool.
15.
It is a -1 for being ganged up. Just check that for us. If it's a higher thing, I'm pretty sure it's 1 for each person past the first.
so.
Pretty sure it is. So what did you get? 15?
15. 15. Fifth fucking team.
Enough, she says, and reaches her hand out towards you. Lightning crackles down her arm and hand. She points towards you. She spends 15 stamina. Yep, it's below her figure of 25, sorry. You can see, though, this is the last of her effort.
Yeah.
You're harrying her.
Yeah.
Suppressing her spells, forcing her to suppress yours, and she's dodging desperate strikes from your rondelle and witch's blade. You're cornering her against her alchemical setup. She's bashing against the table as she desperately tries to hold you off. She reaches out towards you to cast Asla's Thunder.
I'm going to try and dispel this. It's going to take a lot out of me.
It's going to hurt, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to try.
Okay, so it's your spell casting versus hers.
Now, you said 15, which means that's what? Is it 7 that I use
Yeah,
up?
round down.
Yeah, so 7.
Yeah, -1 for every attacker past the first. Yep.
I'm just cycling through. No, this dice was good.
So you're going to go for spellcasting defense?
Yes. To try and dispel it.
25.
24!
I'm so sorry.
You have been listening to The Blood-Soaked Rose, which is a roll-to-cast production. The best way to find us is on Twitter, Discord, and our Patreon. All our podcasts are on Acast, Spotify, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/roll-to-cast. The Witcher tabletop role-playing game is property of Artel Saurian Games. Used with permission.
Previously on the Blood-Soaked Rose.
Yeah, that's way too quiet.
Fuck you.